Hi everybody, well here we go. This is the new PUBG map, PARAMO, which has just gone live on the console test servers for PlayStation 4 and Xbox. Now I tell you what, this map and Season 9, they've got me excited about PUBG again. There's some negative things as well. Let's cover those in a minute. So in this video you're going to see me playing a solo squad. It will give you a flavour of what this map is all about. Basically Paramo, as you can see, it's set in the Central American highland somewhere, I guess. And there's a volcano, and the idea is that several elements of this map are dynamically created every time a new map is played. So I guess like the lava flows will be in a different place. I think some of the landmarks might move, not quite sure at this moment. And obviously the weather will be different. But the first thing that strikes you when you fire up Paramo is how great it looks. This looks really good. I love this kind of, it's like Erangel with a few more rocks and with like a South American ruins, pyramids involved in it as well. That is really good. And when you're running around, there's plenty of cover. There's trees, but it's not like the cover you get in Sanhok, where there's jungle everywhere and your line of sight's too short. This has got long lines of sight, so you can see people. The buildings seem good. There seems to be lots of loot in the buildings. It seems like a really good map. Now it's very, very small. Is it what, 3x3 of the squares, or I guess it's 2x2 the middle bit. 64 players. But yeah, it's kind of what I hoped Karakin would be as a small PUBG map, which is in effect, a small version of Erangel. Now, the bad side is that it's only going to be available in third-person perspective squads. Now, PUBG Corp may choose to change this in the future, but if you're mainly a solo player like myself, this puts you a really big disadvantage. You've got to play solo squads, or you've got to go in with random squads. Now, the thing I would say though is that some of my best games in PUBG ever, the most fun ones, have been in random squads, even with no voice comms on either. So I'm not going to completely write it off, because as you can see, I think it looks absolutely fantastic. And if this is the direction that PUBG are going to be taking, then yeah, very, very excited indeed. All they really need to do now, in my opinion, is move away from the random map selection that we have at the moment and move into a situation where you have a featured map and you have Erangel. That's what I think they should do. And then every week the featured map changes, but you always have Erangel, so you've always got that. The OG, arguably the best map in PUBG, always available to play, so there'll be plenty of people queuing up to play it, so you don't have to have many bots. And then, people can play Karakin, they can play Paramo, they can play Miramar, they can play Sanhok when that becomes available and it can change every week. And I think that would be the way to do it. Now, the other thing that's exciting about the upcoming Season 9 that's coming at the end of October is ranked solo mode. And this is something else that could get me back to playing PUBG more regularly, because as you know, I tend to play solos most of the time when I play PUBG. And back in the day, to use a term, PUBG used to have a really good ranking system for casual play. I never knew why they took it away, to be honest, which looked at your final position in games and the number of kills, and then gave you a ranking, and it was based on that, not time in game. And I had a really good time grinding PUBG, enjoying myself playing the games, but playing safely, and some would say passively, to get into the top 10s, to give myself a chance of winning. And then I got into the top 100 in PS4 European third-person perspective servers, and I thought that was really good, and I enjoyed doing that, and I kept playing PUBG doing that, and it was really good. But then, a year ago, whenever it was, they changed the system to whereby it was based on the time you played in the game, which I thought was always crazy. So you had all these people at the top of the leaderboard who had 0.01 KD ratios. their average placement was 50, but because they've been playing the game for 8 million hours, they were at the top. And that kind of took the wind out of my sails a little bit in terms of playing PUBG for that. And there was also the other things they've done in terms of the maps. Map selection is probably the biggest problem I have, having to play like Miramar 4 times in a row, which is never fun. But with ranked solos, there's going to be a limited map pool. So I think it's going to be Erengel, Miramar, Sanhok, Vikendi, I think. And I think it's 64 players, and they remove the red zone, and there's a few other rule changes as well. I'll put the link to the patch notes in the description down below. But that's a reason for me to get in, because previously ranked mode was just for squads, isn't it? So that could be interesting. They could be having a go at that. So there we go. So this is actually going to go live on the public servers at the end of October. I would say if you want to have a crack at this, sooner rather than later is probably the best with the PTSs, because what you tend to find is lots of people play on the PTSs for the first few days, and then they go back to playing normal PUBG once they've had a taste of the new map, which means that you then lose matchmaking queues get a lot longer. Also remember that this is on a North American server, so if you're playing Europe or other parts of the world, you're at a little bit of you're at quite a lot of a lag disadvantage. And don't forget as well, you're going to be playing squads. So if you're solo squads, you're always going to be up against more players, which is something I tend to forget. And I think, why am I getting shut at from two places? And now a third place, and it's because you're up against a squad. So what I'll do now is I'll just leave you with the gameplay. I don't do anything special. I think I get one kill and then a guy zaps me with a vector, but it will give you a flavour of PARAMO. And as I say, it's on the console test server right now, so download the latest version. If you've got PUBG on PlayStation 4 or Xbox, you get the PTS for free. You've probably uninstalled it, I know lots of people have, and then you can have a crack at this exciting new map and a preview of Season 9. Anyway, that's enough from me. If you've enjoyed the video, hit like. If you want to see more of the same, press subscribe, and I'll see you again soon.